and go, oh, they just did this. So I'm going to cut all this out.
I'm Steven with Tobacco Cabana, and I'm a pipe smoker too.
Yes, you are. And I'm David. I'm a Texan, and I love cigars. This is the Roadshow. All right, welcome back.
Always good to be back.
Yes, it is.
101.
Always good to be back at it. Yeah, 101. 101. Tobacco Cabana, it's home. You, Rhonda, Dave, Bob. Always thank you guys. We love shooting here, so I love doing this. Give you guys some news, tips, share cigar, and grow the culture. Exactly. You might be looking at this and going, dude, what's going on here? Well, stay tuned. You'll see Dave and I do a pairing with this, so watch it because this is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we came here to deliver some news, right?
Well, we got to start with Texas Toast.
That is true. We do need to start with a Texas Toast, and you guys knew that. So I'm sure you had your glasses at home. You've got it filled with something delicious like we do. So we always want to toast you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we want to say to good friends, good conversations, what we call a Texas Toast. Yes, sir. Boom.
Man, that is fabulous.
So how's that doing with a pipe? Because that's great. I mean, with a pipe, it is just so much more aromatic.
Yep. And this is a dark red tobacco.
Oh. Dark red with a port?
Yeah, it's going together.
Wow.
Right.
I just don't smoke a lot of pipes. You know me. I just light a cigar. Let's go. Same thing. We got news. Let's deliver some news, right? What do we got?
I've got one here out of Nashville from Tim Osgener. From
the original blender for SOTL.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So he sold that back to STG back in 2007.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So he hasn't been doing anything for 12 years cigar-related. Now, loves Nashville. That's his home. He set up an arts contemporary.
Yeah, I did something about
nonprofit called Oz Arts in Nashville.
Okay.
So he's been busy.
Yes.
Any kind of nonprofit.
But he's getting back into cigars now.
Back into cigars.
Okay.
So he's coming out with the Osgener family cigars. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he's got a new one that is blended kind of in commemoration of Cano, his dad.
Oh, okay.
So a tribute to him. And this one also goes to his heritage, Turkish background. And it's called Bosphorus.
Okay.
From Bosphorus Straits, where basically Europe and Asia come together in that beautiful part of the world.
You like you guys use Turkish pipe in pipe tobacco, right? Yeah.
Yep. It's referred to as an Oriental pipe tobacco.
Okay.
Because of the location and everything. So, new cigar, box press, 4 sizes, double binder from Ecuador. It's a Connecticut and Nicaraguan fill from Nicaragua with an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper.
We're hearing that all the time with Sumatra and San Andres, and
yeah,
it's becoming more popular. I wonder why. I know it's good.
It's good, and I think the availability's
okay.
Some of the growers are really getting their presence out.
Okay.
I know one of the growers of San Andreas, True Mexican San Andreas, and they made fabulous cigars, Casa Torrent.
Right.
And they provided the tobacco for Padron and other companies. And I think that's what really is drawing people to the...
Okay. But he's getting back into cigars with his own line now.
Yep. So, limited edition.
Yeah.
Pi Sinesta.
What is that?
I think that's the Vitola.
That's what it called. Okay.
Yeah. 6x52.
That's a Toro, right?
Yeah. Pretty much Toro. 12-count boxes, a little different there.
Okay.
Limited release, global release of 2,500 boxes.
Okay, so it is a limited.
It's very limited. So look for it when you get a chance at your brick and mortar.
Okay, all right. Well, in more news, we've got Room 101. You guys know that STG, General Cigar Company, acquired Room 101 from Matt Booth. He has stayed on as artistic, as blending, as, you know, he's not totally letting it go, so he's definitely got an influence in it, and they're bringing back the Daruma blend, which I'm not familiar with.
No.
But it's a Japanese term. It's a string. I mean, Japanese culture. I love Japanese culture. Teaching martial arts and things like that. I love Japanese culture, and this is one of the things of Japanese culture I did not know. It sounds like it's a kind of like almost like a Russian doll.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it won't fall down. Okay. And what you do with a Daruma is it has eyes on there, and you set your goal. You color in an eye. That's my goal. And then when you achieve the goal, you color in the other eye.
Okay.
When the goal is met. And so they're bringing this back, and he says it's kind of like similar to, you know, lighting a cigar, because this thing is used for a special occasion. Same thing with a cigar. It's used for a special occasion.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't always have to be a special occasion because I light a cigar every single night.
Yep.
But yet, you know, a lot of people do that aren't regular cigar smokers like we are, Dave, you. They're usually smoking cigars when it's a wedding, it's a, you know, funeral or anything like that. It's a special celebratory type of event. But he says the return of the Daruma is a symbolic of the relationship between him and STG moving forward. So it represents the opportunity for Room 101 to spread its wings and always that's their goal. Okay, and so just as goals change, he says, times change, the Daruma has evolved. So they're changing and they're bringing it back, and I'm not familiar with it. I didn't know anything. I knew Room 101, but I didn't know there was a specific blend called Daruma. But it is a Nicaraguan Puro. I do like the Nicaraguan, yes. And it is a 6x50 Toro. That's it. And it's a $12.99 cigar, which we've mentioned before is pretty much probably the median price point for cigars nowadays. It'll be distributed by Forged Cigars, which we hear with STG in general. But they say it's coming soon. So we don't have a date on it yet, but you guys can look for it at your brick and mortar where somebody carries Room 101 or as General Cigars and things like that. Okay? But
keep an eye out.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it because it sounds interesting. Anything that is I don't know, my ears perk up when I hear something that's a Puro.
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of Cuban-esque, if you will, because you know what Cuban is Puro.
Puro.
It's Cuban. So when you get something that's a Nicaraguan Puro or a Honduran Puro or whatever, it just perks my ears up. So look for that at your next brick and mortar, guys. We'll be right back. Right?
Right.
Oh, this is going great. I'm smoking this Herrera Esteli, the Edición Limitada Lancero by Drew Estates. This is a 7x38. It's got a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Honduran binder, and Nicaraguan fillers. It's fantastic. Got a great cold draw. I've got it paired with an Old Forester. This is the rye version. I've been liking some ryes lately. I thought it paired pretty good, but I had a friend telling me that he glued himself to his autobiography. I didn't believe him, but it is his story, and he's sticking to it. All right, welcome back, guys. Some more news. We've got some stuff hey, we love Texas. This is the Texas Cigar Roadshow.
Yeah.
I like Fratello cigars. They've got some great stuff. Omar puts out some great blends that I definitely enjoy. And they've got one coming out called the Texan Toro. So it's getting a full release. It was released in a 5-pack, I believe. It was a 6x50 Toro size, and they had a 5-pack with 5 different blends. But the Texan Toro is now going to get released as a standalone April 1st. So it's not out yet. You can look in your brick and mortars and anticipate its arrival if it's a shop that carries a Fratello. It's a 20-count boxes, $10.50 a cigar for a Toro.
Good price.
That's a good price point. It debuted in 2019. Okay, as a 7 1/8 by 58. That's a pretty good size. But this, this one is got some very interesting tobaccos in there.
Okay.
Ecuadorian HVA wrapper, Sumatra binder, and 4 fillers.
Wow.
Dominican Piloto Cubano Ligero, Dominican Andulo, Ligero from Esteli, Nicaragua, and Ligero from Pennsylvania. Do you want some Ligero in your cigar? Yeah, this line is made at the La Aurora Factory.
Awesome.
We just mentioned them on the show before about them having 120 years been around. So they're saying that customers are fascinated with the complexity of the tobaccos in this Vitola.
Right.
And this line extension is a testament to the success the Texan has enjoyed since its inception. And it's interesting that he says that the complexities of tobaccos in this Vitola. Do you find that people say, I like this cigar as a shop owner, and you carry different cigars? Do you find that people say, I like this cigar, do they have it in this Vitola? Because I think
occasionally we do get people who ask for certain sizes, Vitolas, and everything.
Okay. Because
this time they're looking for a Lancero version of it. But now a 7 1/8.
7 1/8 by 58. That's a large Churchill.
Yeah, it's big.
That's a big
ring gauge too.
Right, but so that's a Texas-sized Toro, right?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Grand Toro.
Yeah, it began its inception so in 2021, but I'm not sure who's carrying it right now. I've not seen one, but I'm definitely going to look for it, especially something that says it's a Texan Toro. I think I've got to try it.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. What do you got?
Espinosa, and along with the TAA, have a new release of
TAA, right?
Murcielago, the Black Bat.
Yeah,
they're famous for.
Yes, I like that.
This one is using a Mexican San Andreas Claro wrapper.
You don't say. Mexican San Andreas.
Nicaraguan binder from the Jalapa region. Filler is made up of Nicaraguan tobacco also. It got a great review and information on Half Wheel talking about it and the blend because they were talking about Espinosa and ranked them as one of the premium retailers.
Okay, good on Espinosa. I mean, I like Espinosa's cigars that whether it's their traditional lines of
so you're thinking about like the La Bamba line, Laranja, the Cremo line from Espinosa.
Yeah,
great cigars.
Yeah, but I do love that one whenever because those are like special release type of cigars.
Yep.
And then it being a TAA exclusive on top of that.
Yeah, gonna have to find your TA retailer.
Exactly.
6x54 Toro. So pretty good size.
Yeah, that's a good size.
Made and handled by A.J. Fernandez in the San Latano factory in Acatao, Nicaragua.
Interesting.
Again, 1,500 boxes, limited release. But again, that's a TAA thing. They're very limited.
So 30,000 cigars.
Yep. They're saying it's a relatively large production for them, but I'm going, if you can get your hands on one, do it.
Yeah.
Look for it end of May, 1st of June time frame.
Okay.
Be at your retailer.
All right, yeah, be watching your shops. Okay,
Yep.
guys? All right, we'll be right back. Today's Cigar Word is brought to you by R.O.C.F Premium Cigars. From the locally grown tobacco to the extensive aging and fermenting process, R.O.C.F Cigars devotes itself to providing the highest quality cigars.
Today's Cigar Tip is brought to you by R.O.C.F Cigars.
You got a tip for me, Stephen?
It's going to be controversial.
Oh,
Yep.
nothing like that on this show, is there?
Oh, no. Humidification.
Well, it's 70-70, right? I
That's a
mean,
myth. That's a myth.
come on.
Maybe if you live in Miami, you can obtain that all the time, but no. You don't have to shoot for that, but it's nice because you know the product's at a good resting state with those temperatures and humidity.
Okay.
And again, that also kind of mimics our body. When we exhale, it's 70% humidity.
Okay.
Interesting little fact. But if you were storing your cigars, you don't have to try and force yourself to get to that point or maintain it. Dropping down is okay.
Yeah.
You know, I store mine primarily around 62 in my humidor.
That's like the aging.
I keep them in there for an aging time frame
Okay.
and that humidity, and that's kind of long-term storage.
Okay.
That way I can bring it out and it's ready to smoke and maybe not too moist.
Okay.
Let it dry out if I want it a little drier.
Yeah, I think, it's definitely an individual thing. You can, if you like it a little bit drier, it's going to light faster. It's going to smoke faster.
Yep.
I keep mine around the 66, 67-ish, around in there. And that seems to do really good for me.
Yeah.
When I travel with them, though, I do put probably a 69 Boveda or a Boost in there. Just because I'm traveling with it and it's a new atmosphere that it's in.
Right. And if you're changing climates as you're traveling,
Right.
you want them to be close to what you're used to.
Right.
You know, if you all of a sudden go someplace, West Texas, dry, arid region, you don't want your cigar to dry out quickly on you.
Right. Right.
So you want to keep it maintained.
So
like you're used to.
77. Yeah. Right.
It's nice.
But don't think that if you don't achieve 70-70, that your cigars are ruined. Don't even think that.
No.
You can go down. I know some guys personally that store it in. This seems really low, but in the high 50s.
That's very low to me. That would be a very dry cigar.
Yeah, but if that worked for them,
yeah,
that's what works for them. But if aging is 62, then and then if that works for aging, then why can't it work for smoking?
It absolutely does.
It absolutely does. So guys, just play with it a little bit.
Yeah.
See, if you've got a couple of humidors, keep one at this humidity. If you've got another one, keep it at that humidity.
Yep.
And then see if there's a difference between how they smoke for you.
Yeah.
And you can learn from that. Another great tip, man.
Thank you.
All right.
2 families, 1 cigar. Join the Ambassador Program today to make it a perfect blend at McAuliffeCigars.com.
Well, this looks a little different, Dave.
Yeah, this is one where you're kind of bringing the pairing to me. I mean, in a cigar that we...
So this is Ismael Olivan, good friend of mine, R.O.C.F, BAMF cigars, military background and everything that he likes to do that. It's got a great Candela tip on it. Love this cigar. this is a port that he made himself. He is Spanish descent, and so he makes his own port. This is one of his better ports that he created. I've had this bottle for at least 5 years.
So now is it a port in that it's done in Portugal with a Portugal style, or is it a Porto?
It would be a Porto because he did it in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, but it's really bringing homage back to the Portugal styles.
right.
Okay,
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly. So I thought that would be a perfect pairing, have one of his cigars with actually something that he created and sent this. I've had his other bottles before, and then he sent me this one, which was supposed to be his special type of bottle, the primo, however you want to say that. And I love port.
I love port too. And you know, within the past couple of weeks, we just had NFG, and Greg Free from Fuerte Libra brought in a 44-year-old port that he actually gave away in his contest, but he let some of us try that port, and oh wow, my goodness, that was so good. So I'm looking forward to this, but I got to tell you, the bar is sent high after that 44.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I did see the bottle. I didn't get to taste it. I'm envious because I do love port. But this is something different for us. I mean, but you are a port. You drink wine. You drink port.
Drink wine. I love port. One of my favorite is the Cinnamon 30-year-old port, which is just absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to this, and I've never. I say I never tried this cigar. I have been enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good cigar. I love the Candela tip. It's providing a little bit of grassy hay notes on the tongue.
Right.
And you're kind of picking it up a little bit as you're drawing the heat back through.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to pull this out of it because we talked about lighting cigars and hot lighting and burning those oils. When you don't burn those oils and you're actually drawing that heat through, that heat is bringing what the flavors all the way through the entire length of the cigar. And so you're picking out some of those notes on that the tip is going to bring you, even though the tip's not burning.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I get that. And I totally agree with that. It's like some of them that you get when you get that tingle in your mouth from the Nicaraguan tobacco off the wrapper. Well, you're getting this one off the wrapper, so you're getting that hint of grassy.
That hint of grass and that.
So what do you think this cigar? You've been smoking on it for a while. What do you think? And knowing you've not drank this particular Porto, but knowing ports in general and what you've had with this cigar, right? What can you expect from it?
I'm not knowing what the rest of the blend of the cigar is, but the kind of notes that I'm getting, I'm getting some fruity notes out of the cigar, not strong fruity notes. I'm really expecting this port's going to bring those notes forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that this is a contrast pairing, where it does have spiciness, but it's going to balance out that spiciness and bring those fruity notes forward in here.
Okay.
Not having paired it yet, I haven't even taken a sip of this. So I don't.
Yeah, we just opened the bottle. You saw it was
I'm
full.
I'm curious to see what's going to do. I'm going to go drink the cigar first.
Okay. Well, I just drew off the cigar, so I'm going to go the other direction.
Wow.
That's got a different taste from normal ports.
Yeah.
That's as it was going over my tongue, it had what was that?
The first thing that came to mind is, you know, when you bite into a plum that is...
Yes.
It's not been sitting on, in your refrigerator or your counter for a while, but it's just fresh, brand new, off the vine type.
Well, it's that plum for me as it starts to get a little bit soft.
Okay. So for me, it had that fullness, but just with a little bit of tart into it, like it's just fresh, brand new. You just picked it up from the store and you're biting into it.
Yeah, it definitely had a different...
But that is definitely plum, which is a bit different for ports.
Yeah, it's a dark. Now, do you think that, obviously, I don't know. I know bourbons don't age anymore, don't change anymore once they're in the bottles.
Correct.
Does that happen here?
Oh, no, these still age.
These still age.
still age.
So this being in the bottle, it's been in my house at least 5 years. Been sitting in a wine cooler, laying down.
Yeah, it's reaching that perfect age.
So that has probably helped it. It's. Do you think it's changed it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Good ports like this, you can typically let them rest anywhere from 5 to 10 years after they're bottling. And so if this has been resting at your house for 5 years, you're really in that prime time for a port.
Okay.
Because remember, these ports are still made from red grapes.
Right.
Still have the tannins in them. They just were fortified.
Right. You notice the tannins when it hits the side of your tongue, and that
they're not strong.
No, it's not strong at all. But from where, getting that taste in your mouth, and then it goes to the side of your tongue, and then that's the tannins. But it's not. You're right. It's not strong at all. The smell is great.
Right, and those tannins don't have that drying effect.
Right.
That a red wine would never really do. Now, normally ports, if I remember right, trying to think back into my sommelier class, ports are typically made from Pinot Noirs.
Okay.
And which is a lighter body, but still very fruit forward.
But what when I think port, I think grape. I think grapey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is not grapey.
No.
This is, like you're saying, dark plum.
Dark, deep, rich plum. Which is just...
That's delicious.
Absolutely.
Very well.
Yes.
Very, very... I expect nothing less from Ish. And what he produces in cigars, and from the bottles that I've tasted before, those were years ago. I know they were good. I don't remember. But now tasting this one, it's like, holy cow, I'm going to have to contact him again and tell him, do you have any more of it? But yeah, coming back to it again now after you're drawing on the cigar and that, what are you getting? Oh,
wow.
This one that right there, what hit me was like a light mint.
Okay, so light mint, but now take a good draw and then take a nice big sip.
A big sip after a good draw.
Sip, yeah. And tell me what you get at the very, very, very back of it.
Yeah. And the retrohelium, that's just so smooth. So smooth.
Now, what are you getting at the very back of your...
Oh, even at the front. But now it's changed to almost like a cherry.
Black cherry.
Black cherry.
Black. But I'm going to go the next step forward, that black cordial. So I'm getting that black cherry with that chocolate.
Yeah, this changed to a cherry, though. It's at the very, yeah. But even, yeah, that's delicious. So what would you call this? Would you call this you would call this a contrast?
I would call it a contrast pairing to where... And it's kind of hard because it really depends upon which direction that you're going. Because some of the spiciness that's in here, and there's a little bit of spiciness in this cigar alone, just a hint of, subtle hint of it, but that's been completely subdued to where it's allowing the fruity notes, which before smoking this, before I was pairing this with anything, I wasn't getting any fruitiness out of the cigar. I was getting some of those earthy tones. I was getting some of those deep gravel type earthy.
Well, I'm getting, with mint, it's going to be more of an herbal,
more
herbaceous type of taste. Interesting.
But I'm getting some of the subtle fruit notes in the cigar. But going from the cigar to here, that chocolate, that cordial, deep cherry chocolate at the very back is just like, okay, I can get into it.
Well, Stephen brought this box.
And I'm wanting to get over to this.
So let's see that, because normally I equate ports with grape, and this is just not grape. And so I want to see now if we get one that's more grape, what it's going to do to the cigar.
I'm kind of.
Oh, that's dark red.
Oh, that is dark red.
That is dark red.
That's much darker than the other.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, that's your port smell right there.
There's the grape. Yeah, this is what we would typically expect out of a typical Portugal style port.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this one reminds me more of a sherry.
That's great. That's port. That's what I think of when I think of port. Like sherry for this one.
That's port. And this one is more reminiscent to the one that we had back at NFG, that 44-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
With the grape and the lighter red cherries. Not your deep dark red like your Luxardo cherries, but your more cherry tree type cherries.
This was definitely fun because it's not something that we normally have on the show for a pairing.
No. I mean, I think this is one of the first times we've done that you and I've done. Well, we've done port before, but this is one of the first times that we've ever done a double pairing.
Yeah, double pairing. Two. I mean, they're both. I mean, notice on there it says Porto.
It's Porto, yeah.
So, but it's more in the style of an original type of port. Whereas this one being a personal blend, maybe it's something that.
Well, this one's called a Porto, but it says that it's a product from Portugal.
Wow, interesting. Wonder why they would call it a Porto. But anyways, this one being from Ismael's personal flavor profile, maybe something that he tasted back home where he was from. I'll have to ask him.
That would be interesting to find out. And you said, him having a Spanish or Hispanic background. And that's where really, I think he's maybe pulling more from his heritage. And that's where really I lean more towards a sherry with his. Even though he calls it a port or Porto,
Mm-hmm.
it really leans more towards a sherry, which, remember, sherry is a fortified wine as well. Just as port is a fortified wine, sherry port is from Portugal, sherry is from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
This one is more reminiscent of a sherry with its deep plums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely two different tastes, but two great tastes with this cigar too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this fantastic pairing. That was gotta go a different direction.
I gotta say. My preference between the two would be this way.
Mm-hmm.
But going from cigar to this is good. It really brings out more towards a black currant.
Okay.
And that very that black currant where you're getting that tartness of like that raspberry, that currant,
Mm-hmm.
that tart grape, where you get a grape that's just, without saying the word tart again, I'm going to say it, tartness, where it just kind of makes you go, ooh.
Yeah, that twang.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Very cool. Oh, this is fun, Dave. This is fun. I always look forward to the pairings that we have. I'm glad I could bring something that was
New to me.
Yeah, it's new to you, new cigar to you, and another great pairing.
And I got to say, this is show number 101.
Yes, it is.
And we've been doing this together for over a year now.
Yeah.
I haven't been on every show, but I've been on the majority of them now. And seeing your palate grow and your ability to be able to pick out those notes and be able to...
I'm learning from the best. I'm learning from that.
I want to say cheers to you. And I know this is 101,
Mm-hmm.
but congratulations. And thank you for letting me be a
Oh,
part of this.
man, dude, it's my pleasure to have you on the show. You add so much to what we're doing here, to the learning factor. People always comment, I love Dave's section. When you guys are doing pairings, I learned so much. I appreciate it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, stay tuned.
Cigar Traveler at 2nd Street Cigar Company in Edmond, Oklahoma, with Shop Stop Leaf and Grain Society. Hey guys, we're going in and see what it's all about. Cigar Traveler with Shop Stop Leaf and Grain Society at 2nd Street Cigar in Edmond, Oklahoma.
Another good show, man.
Absolutely. Another great shop stop.
I appreciate it. Yeah, always Dave supplying with shop stops and another good show with pairings and some news and another good cigar. I finished it, man.
Yep.
Finished it. Some good port. Good stuff. I appreciate it. And it's fun doing this. We're at
Absolutely.
show 101. We're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep
For you.
going. Exactly for you guys. And wherever you guys at, just remember to enjoy the leap.
Grow the culture.
Exactly, guys.
Cheers.
See you next time.
Texas Cigar Roadshow is presented by Lone Star Cigar Association.